Hi, my name is Corey Busa, and I would like to talk about Pearl Harbor. The Pearl Harbor was was a surprise attack from the Japanese in the Hawaiian Islands, right there. And surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Sunday mornings were a time of leisure for the U.S. military personnel at Pearl Harbor, but on December 7th, 1941, they were completely unaware that an attack was imminent. The explosions and bombs started, and they attacked. Okay, why the attack? Why? The Japanese were really tired of the negotiations with the U.S., with all the fascism and all that, and they wanted to continue their expansion with Asia without any complications. So the U.S.
On the morning of December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor began at 6 a.m. The Japanese aircraft carriers began launching their planes amid rough sea. In total, 183 Japanese aircraft took to the air as part of the first wave of the attack on Pearl Harbor. At 7:15, the Japanese aircraft carriers, plagued by even rougher seas, launched 167 additional planes to participate in the second massive wave attack on Pearl Harbor. The wave of Japanese planes reached the U.S. naval station at Pearl Harbor at 7:55 on December 7th, 1941.
The attack on Pearl Harbor is over. By 9:45 a.m., just under 2 hours after the attack had begun, the Japanese planes left Pearl Harbor and headed back to their aircraft carriers. The attack on Pearl Harbor was over. All Japanese planes had returned to their aircraft carriers by 12:14 p.m., and just under an hour, the Japanese attack force began their long journey homeward. In just under 2 hours, the Japanese had sunk 4 U.S. battleships: Arizona, California, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. The Nevada was beached, and the other 3 battleships at Pearl Harbor received considerable damage. Also damaged were 3 light cruisers, 4 destroyers, 1 mine layer, 1 target ship, and 4 auxiliaries. Of the U.S. aircraft, the Japanese managed to destroy 188 and damage an additional 159.
During Pearl Harbor, a lot of Americans died. After Pearl Harbor happened, a lot of the U.S. found out the day of because it was so big and they didn't expect it. A lot of Americans died. On the day after Pearl Harbor, Franklin D. Roosevelt gave an address to Congress which declared war on the Japanese on that the day of Pearl Harbor will always live in infamy. That officially brought the United States into World War II. I'm done.
On December 7th, 1941, there were 8 U.S. battleships at Pearl Harbor, 7 of which were lined up at what was called Battleship Row. And they were in dry dock repairs too. And there were the Nevada, the Arizona, the Tennessee, the West Virginia, Maryland, Oklahoma, California. And California. And each was shot severely and sank. Yeah, that's it. To make Japan forfeit the war, America bombed Japan in the 2 cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And it made Japan forfeit the war. That is the Pacific Theater.
The cause of Pearl Harbor was that Japan wanted to control all of the Pacific Islands, and the U.S. Navy was considered to be a threat to the Japanese plans. The effect of the attack on Pearl Harbor was that it forced the U.S. into a war with Japan, a war that ended in unleashing of the world's first and hopefully last use of the nuclear bomb.